that one, that one. There we go. Okay. This is going to be a little bit different because I'm not going to have a game to look at. I'm going to be looking just at a camera. But welcome in. This is the first podcast for Iron Insights, coming live from Virginia, USA. And this is very nerve-wracking. It's a very different feel already. I'm going to do my best to watch chat the whole time, but I'm not going to be interacting quite as much with chat because there's going to be a lot more me talking, a lot more guests talking, which is going to be fun, but weird at the same time. So the whole point of this podcast is to obviously chat with people who I think are super cool, learn something new, provide some cool knowledge for folks who are interested in listening. I'm open to talking really about anything. I want it to be open dialogue. I've had people say I want questions beforehand. Like, I don't know if I want to give people questions beforehand. I don't know if I want to know where the conversation goes. I have words. I have things written down for me to keep me a little bit organized so I don't ramble on and on. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, GT, laughing. Let's go. Let's go. But a bit about me. So my name's Kurt, otherwise known as Iron. Call me whatever y'all like. I'm a physical therapist by trade, and during the pandemic, I really got into gaming because I was called off from the hospital. I was still essential personnel, but other people needed to work more than me. I had PTO. We could delve more into that perhaps another time, but I'm a physical therapist, but I love gaming. So I got started streaming, love talking to people, especially. People don't usually come by my stream because I'm a particularly good gamer. I play a lot of games, and it's a lot of fun to play games, but I like talking to people a lot too. And so I've had a lot of people along the way tell me, hey, you should start a podcast, or hey, you should do more stuff along these lines. And I've been kind of beating around the bush on it, and eventually finally got into the mindset of just got to get it started. And there's a lot of different ways to get started with a podcast. I've found out a lot of people recommend getting a backlog of videos. A lot of people recommend getting a few things recorded first that people have like a library of content to go back to. But what I thought is, well, I've been streaming for a while. There's a lot of content on my YouTube, on my Twitch, on TikTok, a lot of different places y'all can go. So I don't know if I really need that backlog per se. I'm not the biggest fan of recording. I'm not the biggest fan of editing. So I'd rather just go into the lives. I'm much better at the live content. So that being said, getting a podcast going. Looking to have interesting conversations with people. And on that note, GT, one of the more interesting gentlemen I've met along the way, OG supporter of the stream. You've enabled me to do a lot of really fun things on the stream, and I could think of very few better people than you, if any. Honestly, there's a lot of really cool people that we could have had the first day, but GT, you are an awesome pick to have on the first day, and I appreciate you being here. Welcome in, dude.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
It's good to be here.
Yes, sir. So you can be as in depth with it as you want to be, but if you want to give people a little background on you, I know a few things about you, but I'm interested in using these opportunities to learn more about the folks who have supported me for so many years on the stream. So if you want to go a little bit about you, and I'll pester you with some questions.
Well, I am a father of two, husband. I live in Australia. In Victoria, to be specific. So we are polar opposites, but yet we connect. And that proves it doesn't matter where you are in the world, it can be done.
Oh, that's super cool. And I guess I should have mentioned too, I'm married. I have a kid. Very important part about my life. I have a wife. I have a son. Remind me how old your kids are.
They are 16 and 13.
Good grief. What's that like?
Yes.
Having two in the teenage years.
Well, the older teenager is starting to think he knows more than us, so that's fun.
Oh boy.
And younger teenager, because he's only 13, he's still good, but it will come.
He's still good. He's still good. The other one, not so sure about that one. But this one's still good.
On him, but you expect that. I remember my teenage years. You rebel, you do things to annoy your parents, and I've got to understand that. But in general, they are good kids. You just got to guide them.
Yes, gotta direct that energy because they're young, dealing with hormones, dealing with all the information
Yep.
they're getting from other people too. And so, like you said, they feel like they know more than you, probably because they've learned some different things from other people. Challenge you as
Yep.
well. I know my 5-year-old does that too. He says, "Why?" The favorite question right now is why, why, why? No, Daddy, don't do that. He told me for the first time the other day, Daddy, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and it's just the way it is. I'm like,
Oh,
oh, I don't know about that yet.
yes. That's a fun age when they start to understand what they know.
Yes, exactly. And then he can start manipulating the conversation to either go his way, or he'll even just be a little
Mm-hmm.
bit insightful and say, I see what you mean there, but," and I'm like, oh no, he's gonna give me some kind of contrasting logic here to try to make it so that it's more reasonable or understandable for him. But yeah, that's super fun. And then GT stands for Ghost Town, if I remember
That's
correctly.
correct. That's how it started. Yeah, with
What
Clash of
what
Clans.
what what is Ghost Town from?
It was literally when I started Clash of Clans, there was nothing and it looked like a ghost town. And I said, that is my username.
That's so Clash of Clans itself looked like a username. It looked like a
Yes,
ghost town, and you used that to make.
I
So,
used it.
so did you ever have an account like just named Ghost Town or a clan named Ghost Town, or does
I
it
had an
always just?
account name. No, I had an account named Ghost Town. Yeah. And then I think I got Ghost Town 2.0. So I was really original on the way I did those accounts.
Ghost Town, yeah, but hey, you know what? I when I think about my old usernames, it was a lot of those style names too. When you made your second account, you're like Iron 2.0. Like if you go to my Town Hall
Yep.
2s right now, it's Iron Town Hall 2.1, Iron Town Hall 2.2. So I've done that too. 100% I've done
Yeah.
that. So okay, so Ghost Town. So then you shrunk it down to GT Matty, and that's just kind of been how it is ever since.
It has been, yeah. It's funny how that evolved. You know, Ghost Town. It just didn't sound good on other things, especially when you're streaming or you're just in Twitch chat. It's like Ghost Town. It's like Jesus. It's not doing it for me. And I thought, oh well, tuck me in. I'll put GT. I'll leave that, but I'll stick a name in there as well,
There you go. Well, and
so it's
and
relatable. People can either call me GT or they can call me Matty.
And I totally get that. I've changed my name many times over the years. Started with Iron Curtain 1992, and then I had people tell me maybe that's not the best nickname for a streamer. And I said, yeah, it's a bit long. The Iron Curtain maybe doesn't have the best connotations. It's an old soccer nickname, calling me the Iron Curtain with a K. So then I shrunk it down a little bit to Iron Nightmare, which was kind of a nice play on words to have the Iron Knight mare.
Yep.
And so then the logo was the red helmet for a while, the red knight's helmet for a bit.
Yes, I do remember that. Yes.
Yep. And then I said, well, Iron Nightmare is close, but it's not quite right. I wanted to keep the iron and the knight. So I said, well, do I go Mr. Iron Knight or do I go Dr. Iron Knight? And I was like, well, I don't know if I want to be like necessarily Dr. Disrespect, even though I am an actual doctor. I don't know if he's an actual doctor. But I decided to go with Mr. Iron Knight, and doggone it, the name was taken by other people, so I had to put some underscores on it. But that's been a name that's kind of stuck quite a bit. So I still have components of like my original name, the Iron especially, has kind of come with me the whole way, just like how the GT is stuck with you. But like I said, it's kind of changed, it's kind of morphed a little bit. So that's kind of cool. Have you ever thought about changing your name again? Or you think GTMatty is what it is for the long haul?
I think it's like that for now, but the GT will always stick. I think once you find something and people start to know you by it, it's hard to let it go.
Yes. I do think it's part of my gaming identity for sure. At least the Iron part. Because nobody calls me
Yes,
Mr.
that's
Nobody,
right.
nobody calls me Knight. People call me Iron. And so I feel like if I was ever going to change my name again, which I don't plan to, I kind of like this one. I've stuck with this one, I think, the longest out of all of my names. Certainly, I think I'm going to keep the Iron component if anything was to ever change. And that's why it's called Iron Insights, the podcast. It has the Iron component in it, too. So I think it's
Makes sense.
I think that part's going to be around forever. So if you ever make merch, make sure it has GT on it, GT. And I call you GT.
Yes,
I don't even call you Matt. I call you GT.
You do. That's exactly right. See, and that's how it sticks. I was like, I can't get rid of it and just go with Maddie something. Like,
Yeah.
who's this guy?
Exactly. If you came into the stream and your name was Maddie something else, I would have zero clue who you were. Like, who's this guy who's been
Exactly.
following me for like 4 years? Who is this guy?
And you know
Oh
what it's
my
like
gosh.
once you get into the around the scene, that it evolves very quickly from one stream to another, and you get to know other people, and
Yep.
then from there you get to know more people. And so holding on to a bit of originality or that identity is important.
Yes. Yeah, and there's so many people you interact with at various times online. You got to keep something consistent. Otherwise, yeah, if you change your name and all of a sudden you go across all the podcasts again, then people are gonna be like, "Who are you?" And you have to reintroduce yourself. It'd be such a pain. Even if
Oh,
you
would
change
be,
your name to like a
absolutely.
really cool name, and I'm sure we're both very capable of doing that, it would be at this point it's almost too much work. It kind of goes to what my
Yes.
wife talks about. She's like, I can't even imagine. She's like, I don't want to divorce you, but just imagine like the work you have to do to restart your life with somebody else. Because you hear about people getting divorced all the time.
Yep,
Unfortunately, it's just something that happens. You
it
just
is.
imagine that you're like to restart all that would be a lot, and perhaps it's a little bit more work than changing your name online. But it's that same idea. It'd be so much work at this point to undo all that you've established with your name.
It may be an iron nightmare to restart.
Exactly. Well done.
Iron's nightmare.
Well done. Well done. Oh my gosh.
Thank you, sir.
That's good. That's good. So tell me about because I do want this podcast to be a bit more about being successful, being productive, being helpful to people. I want to pick your brain a little bit about what you found has been something that's helped you be successful. Or let's start with this. What's your definition of successful? Let's start there, and then we'll build into what has made you successful,
Yeah.
and what your goals are.
Yeah, so I think a definition of successful is having the means to do what you want. Doesn't it necessarily mean being rich or having an awesome job or anything like that? It's everything else around you. It's family, it's kids, it's lifestyle. And I think if you have everything you need, no matter how much you earn or anything like that, and you never want for anything, that's successful.
That I think that's a great definition, and it reminds me of something that, believe it or not, a comedian I heard talk about. He said that if you got substantially more money just out of nowhere, and your lifestyle really didn't change that much, getting just like a buttload of money, then you've made it. You've done it. And building off what you said, I think family's the most important thing. I think that I've
Yeah.
had no more joy than, I mean, granted, I love gaming with you. I love doing what I do on the stream, and I love what I do as a physical therapist, but nothing has brought me more joy than being with my wife, being with my son, being with my parents, living close to them has been the greatest decision that we've made. After me marrying my wife, after going to PT school and doing all that stuff, coming back to where they all are and getting to see them literally every single week. Sometimes it's every day of the week, and it's great. And then Iron Boy always has family to hang out with every day. That's the best
That's
thing.
massively important. That's massively important. And it's the same for us. We're close to family within, sort of 15 minutes of family because it's the most important thing. Like, you stream and you do all those things and they're all great. But at the end of the day, when you hang up the headphones, it's family that's there.
Yes. Yes. And if we can make it so that Iron Boy gets to streaming too, we can all do it at home. Oh, that'd be like the dream. Oh my
That's a
gosh.
full family affair. That makes it so interesting then, doesn't it?
Oh my god. I've had thoughts about having one of those table setups where our monitors are facing away from each other, but like in a triangle formation. My dad on one side of me, my kid on the other side of me. We're all just playing something together, and we're streaming together, just laughing it up. I thought that would just be so cool to be able to do something like that. And then, I mean, ultimately, I want him to do whatever is most fun for him. But right now, he says, "Daddy, I want to stream Roblox, and I want people to watch me play." And I want to do
People
this
will
and that.
watch you play do that. Roblox
they
is
will-
so popular.
It is, and
If he can do
scarily
it,
so.
he'll kill it.
Yes, yes. Anytime he's on live, people are like, "Oh my gosh, the real streamer is here! This is great! This is
Yeah,
awesome!"
Same as your wife when she's on, she gets. I mean, her mouth is it
Not
works
as
a bit
clean.
harder than yours
Not-
in the other direction.
Yes, yes, yes. And I bring that up because That's a great point. She's like the antithesis of me in a good way. She brings that contrast in, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I married her is because she is hilarious. She's got sass for days.
Yes.
But the degree of support that I've received from my wife, from my kid, of course, and from my parents too. Half of these decorations behind here are from them. Like all like the stuff that y'all see behind me on stream every day. My
Mm.
parents, my wife, my sister
Wow.
have purchased for me. Like the Baby Yoda, I didn't buy that. The pancake stack over there, I didn't buy that. They gather things for me. They're like, hey, we've had these toys forever. Take these. So
Wow.
one of the things I measure in terms of my success is, am I consistently supported by my family?
Hmm.
Being selfish. What I mean by that is, if my family likes what I'm doing, that I think I'm doing okay, and they could tell that it matters to me too. But it makes them exceptionally happy to help me do this, and it's super cool. And they see what it turns into in terms of me not just working, but getting some time set aside to play video games. Because my parents always ask me to. They say, "Is there anything we can help with?" Because they know it's tough being parents. Things are expensive nowadays. If there's anything we can do
Hmm.
to help, and so they do a really good job making sure that me and Lady Iron get like personal time together to hang out. We get to do the things that we enjoy, and I know that not everybody gets a chance to do that. So I'm very grateful for that too.
Yes, and you can't underestimate that support,
Hmm.
to give you that freedom as well. You know, everyone needs a hobby or something to escape to, and it's not because you need to get away from anything.
No.
Right? It's just
Mm.
you need to free your mind sometimes from the reality, because it's a grind. Life is a grind,
It is. It is having
and
that
it'll
the
beat
support
you to
system
your
for sure.
knees, and it'll keep you there permanently if you let it.
Yes, yes, it sure can. Yes, it sure can. Oh
You
my
got to fight your
gosh.
way out of it.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You can't have that victim mentality. You're a lot of
No,
people being perfectly willing to say all these things are against me, therefore I can't do it, and losing the independence that they could have, losing the motivation that they could have for it. So it's a bit
you can do
disappointing.
anything.
Oh, for sure, for
Put your
sure.
mind to it. You can do anything.
If
You can accomplish anything.
Yes, yes. If you told me 4 years ago when you first followed me, hey, Iron, I think you're gonna start a podcast, I'd be like, yeah, right, yeah, right. But
And that happens so often in life, doesn't it? Where
it
people
does
say something a long time ago, and it ends up happening. You're like, damn, if I'd have thought of that back then, there's no way I would have thought this was going to happen.
exactly, exactly.
Positive. You got to be positive sometimes.
You do. And if you can't be positive yourself, you gotta surround yourself with positive people. If you're surrounded by negative people, get rid of them or help them change their mindset. You can't.
Yep.
There was a saying at some point that you take on the personalities or the qualities of the people that you spend the most time, like the top 5 people you spend the most time with,
Yeah.
something like that. You start to
I
become,
believe that.
yeah, you start to become more like them in a way. So that's part of the reason why I'm so grateful to be surrounded by family. But if I'm playing video games, I'm not gonna play with toxic people. I'm not gonna play with people who are extremely
No.
negative. You get people who join chats and Vision. I don't know if you remember Vision, but long time ago, he
Yep.
said, "Don't be afraid to ban people from your stream if they're being toxic because they'll tank you and the vibes you have on stream. It's not worth it to keep one viewer who's trying to stick around and have their way with your stream. You got to keep your stream safe like that. So, trying to
Especially when you're trying to enjoy it.
it's got to be a fun time. It's got to be an enjoyable time for sure.
Has to be. It's not only just you trying to do it, whether it's you're doing streaming for a financial gain or just to enjoy it or whatever. At the end of the day, you cannot have people coming in ruining the vibe when it's your escape time at the same time away from reality where you can just relax and have a good time.
Yep, yep. Tell them to go make their own toxic stream and have people go
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
come
And see
by.
how many people come and watch that. Yeah, I'm sure
Exact
heaps of people come watch someone flipping. No.
exactly. So tell me what goals you have to be, you know, more successful, or things you have lined up for your kids, or things that you would like to see happen, let's say in the next 5 years.
Ooh, that's a really good question. That's a really good question. So the goals I think would be to. I know we're looking at more maybe another house. Maybe an
Another
investment.
house.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
what
an
kind of house we
investment.
talking?
Well, it'd be just a standard 4-bedroom home. Just for an investment, just to set us up. I'd like to set the kids up in a point where they've got something to have when we're gone, or something we can give them when we're still here that we can pass on to them so we can see them enjoy it.
That's a super cool goal, and it gives me goosebumps because I have the same goal. So
Oh, there you go.
you and me, gamer dads here, thinking about our kids.
Oh, you have to. It's weird how things change.
Oh my gosh, the
You know, we were so
priorities.
selfish once upon a time, you know. Kylie and I, Jesus, we just do whatever. You know, it
Exactly.
didn't matter. It was just us. We'd work, make money, we'd spend money. But now you're just thinking, you know, you're not thinking, 12 months in advance. You're thinking 15, 20 years.
It's the day that Iron Boy came in the world. It was. I mean, first off, it's so surreal, but then you're just like, I care about nothing else. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
I can do for this little lump of something, I just the only thing I care about. So, like what you said, having a house ready.
I
This house,
remember that. Yeah, I remember that. It was so sad. I lost my independence.
well, to be fair, I lost that a long time ago when Lady Iron got pregnant and she starts getting, the morning. Oh, her morning sickness was so bad. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I
Oh,
was
was
I
it?
was I was wrapped around her finger doing whatever I could to help her out, and I was working full time, and she had to kind of phase out of working a little bit, and obviously she couldn't work after she had Iron Boy, but yeah, you start to lose a little bit during pregnancy, and then once the baby comes, oh my gosh, that drive home, dude. Oh, that drive home, I was so scared driving. He's in
I
the car seat.
I
She's
hated
in the back.
that.
Oh my gosh, it's so nerve wracking.
Yeah, first
Oh.
time putting him in a car seat, isn't that just the worst?
He's
It's just,
so tiny. The
oh,
seatbelt's not good enough. I must hold him. They're like, no, just put him in the car seat, lock him in. It's
yeah,
fine. And you drive like 30 miles an hour the whole way home. Sir, the
you
speed limit is
do.
60. Nope, it's 30. I have a kid in the back. Ah, understood. Understood.
Yeah, I even had stickers on the car saying,
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Jesus.
exactly. Yeah, new baby on board, stuff like that. Oh,
Yeah.
they actually said, don't put up signs at your house. Just pro tip for everybody in life: if you have a kid, don't put a sign up at your house saying you have a new baby coming in. Apparently there are psychopaths who look for signs like that and they try to steal your kid. So
What?
somebody so one family, I forget who it was, I forget, it was my mom or somebody else's mom, they put up a sign on our door saying new baby coming home, and my wife tears it down so fast, saying there are people who look for these signs and try to kidnap your new
Oh,
baby because your new parents, they can't get a kid or whatever the situation is, or like I said, they're a psychopath and they try
yeah.
to take your, so just throwing that out there. So having a baby on board, stuff like that, I think all that's totally reasonable, because I mean you're driving, you're on the road, and unless like a car is following you, something like that. But don't put
Yeah.
any markers on your house saying you have a new kid. Apparently that's a thing, so just throw that out there. And then
It
to go
wouldn't
back,
surprise me.
no, yeah, people
Nothing
people
surprises me these days.
people are crazy for sure. But to go back to your statement about having a house ready, the house that we currently live in, Lady Erin has no desire to move out of, and I don't blame her. She hates moving,
Yep.
and I may have caused part of that, where she's lived in the same house like the first 20 something years of her life with her parents, and then she moved in with me whenever we moved to Delaware for school. And then we got an offer from my parents when they knew that we were moving to a new apartment. They said, hey, we'll be there tomorrow morning with a truck and we will help you move. And I looked at Lady Erin and I said,
Wow.
we're packing. So we packed up the entire apartment. It took the whole day. It was our entire day. And she despised it. Oh my gosh. She had never done anything like that before. She looked at me, and I'm sure no fewer than a dozen times told me, I hate this. I hate every part of this. I hate every aspect of this. This is awful. And I never want to do this again. And so we moved into that apartment and we lived there for a little while and it was great. But then doggone those rats that lived in the dumpster at that apartment complex kept chewing the wires of her car and we had to move. They would not take care of the rat
What?
infestation they had in the trash compactor. Yeah. They literally twice caused us to pay $800
Oh,
to repair our car. We said we can't keep doing this, and they would not do anything about it. And so we moved into this house, and we had a lot of family help, and she said, we have done enough moving. We are staying here at least 10 years. I said, that's fine. That's fine. And I've gone even so far as to say, once we've paid off this house, let's keep it. Let's keep it. Let's make this Iron Boy's first house. It'll be his childhood home. When he turns 18, we can give it to him as a gift, and he'll have his first house sorted out. And I think one of the biggest indicators of net worth improvement for a lot of people, especially on the road to becoming a millionaire, I think I heard this from like Dave Ramsey or somebody else. If you have a paid off house, that is one of the biggest indicators that you will be financially successful in life. So you don't have to deal with a mortgage, you don't have to deal with a rent payment. You just have a house, and your net worth instantly is, you know, in this case, it'd be a few $100,000.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's like they say, if you can pay one extra mortgage payment a year, just one, you can knock 10 years off your house.
I've heard that too. That's a crazy stat. Interest is up.
Just crazy, isn't it?
It is. It is. And that kind of mindset is, I think, a bit novel, because a lot of people will think, oh, you got to be rich to do X, Y, Z, or you have to have, you know, way more money than you do right now to do all the things that you want to be able to do. But like you said, if you can squeeze out one more rent payment, or even just, you know, total up over the course of 12 months, one more rent payment total, that like you said, just massively drops down the time it takes to pay off the house. And that's phenomenal.
Yeah, well, I mean, it works out, and it makes sense because a lot of your mortgage payment goes to your interest, and very little comes off the principal.
Yep.
In your monthly payments or weekly, whatever you do. So that extra payment, that extra one payment at the end of the year that you pay is all off the principal. Say it's $600 or whatever. That whole lot comes off your house, and that's how you knock it down so fast.
Yep, the interest eating up what you spend into it is huge. And of course, there's property taxes, and there's all sorts of other things, escrow payments and whatever else, but the interest is huge. And there's a lot of incentives to pay down the interest too. I know in the US, I'm not sure how it is in Australia, but in the US, if you pay down interest, you can use it as a tax deduction every year, which is really nice. So I think you can max out, I think, like $4,000. So if I paid $4,000 in interest off of my student loans, for example, then that's $4,000 off of my taxes that I have to pay every year, because they want people
That's
to
incredible.
pay. They want people to pay. Yeah. And it kind of stunk a little bit during the pandemic, because we didn't get those tax credits because they paused all interest for loans. So we couldn't pay anything in interest. So it was all and you know, it's a great time to pay down principal, and we did, and we've never missed a payment. But it was like, oh, I kind of liked having that $4,000 off too. But yeah, we make up for it in the long term, like what you mentioned with reducing the overall time required to pay back the loan. And that's just it's a really interesting fact that you know, the interest payments are what get you, not the house itself.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I mean, our interest rates at the moment are 4% or something, so they're quite high. And it's only just started
for a mortgage
slowly,
for you guys?
slowly come down.
For a mortgage for you guys is 4%?
It's 4%.
I have to Google what it is right now in the U.S. Current USA mortgage rates. Because for us, it's like 3.25. Right now, the national average for the U.S. is 6.36%.
Oh, see, there we're talking 4%. I'm talking ours was 6, and it has come down a lot of percentage points over the last 6 months.
Good.
Wow, I mean, that's high for us. We were in the ones.
You're at 1% interest rate.
We're at 1% or something. Yep.
1%.
So when we first started building this house, say for instance, when we first started building this house, our repayments worked out to be about $500 Australian.
Wow.
Now, at the interest rates, it's $900.
That's a crazy change. That's a crazy change.
There's massive change.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally almost double. I could do that math. Holy cow.
Yep, and slowly we're starting to see it come down.
Back down.
But it's going to take a while, and it may never get that low again. COVID did change a lot for a lot of people, and interest rates was one of those ones that went down a lot. But if we can get to 2 or 3, I'd be very happy.
Oh, of course, and it always takes longer to get back to the levels you were. I mean, things spike crazy. They think, people are always willing to go up; they're never willing to go down for charging. I've never seen
Yeah.
anything bottom out, or tank super low. Have interest rates go super low, unless it's like a major depression or something like that. I don't know what all the rules are for that, but yeah, 1% interest. I could not even fathom that. I think my sister right now pays like 7 on her house.
Wow.
Because
Jesus, wow.
that's just the timing of when she bought it. I tell folks, if you get a chance to refinance, do it, because we refinanced. I think it's somewhere between 3.25 and 3.75%, but that makes a massive difference.
Okay.
To be
That's
able
a
to
huge difference.
to be able to reduce it down from, it might have been like 4.5 or something like that, to be able to reduce it 1 whole percentage point over the long haul, regardless of whatever the cost is to refinance. If you can do that, especially if your house is anywhere above like 6 figures, it makes a huge difference over the long haul to be able to do that. But yeah, I think I think a great goal for any parent is to have a house ready for their kid. I think that would be incredible.
Yeah, well, that would be. I mean, we when we built this, it was. I think it was about 700,000. And I know that sounds a lot, but our dollar is a lot different
Well,
to America's.
I don't. That's not that far from what I would expect too. There's a lot of townhouses where I live where it's not unheard of to have a house go for $750,000 US dollars.
There you go.
Just 2 miles down the road. It's actually in my parents' neighborhood. They have a standalone home, but there's townhouses that are 3 or 4 levels that are.
Right.
I mean, they're quite big. 3,000 plus square feet, and then just based on the location, it can cost that much to build a house, build it, furnish it, all that stuff. Oh, for sure. With where we are 30 minutes from DC. You can drive, a couple hours north and be in New York, drive a couple hours south and be in, large cities like Richmond, like 8 hours, 10 hours south is, you're getting close to the Florida border. The East Coast it's very populated. West Coast is very populated too. Central U.S. is where everything would be dirt cheap, but, you can get to anywhere from here in an hour or less. And it's one of the, I think Fairfax County, where we live, is one of the top 5 most expensive and richest counties in the United States. So it just happens to be where our family is, and that's that's priceless. But it is one of the more expensive and one of the larger traffic volume areas in the country.
There you go.
So yeah,
what do you do? You want to live there, you got to do it, don't you? They got you.
Yes, and so the cost makes sense, and it pays off in the long term if you could pay it down. But there's a lot of people who have multiple families in one home in this area, and they choose to live that way, and good for them.
A lot of people can't do it nowadays. We're in that situation now. A lot of young people can't afford to. The wages just aren't equal to what a mortgage would be now. What houses are worth.
Tom, right? Tom Nubb.
Yeah,
he's talked a lot about that, where he and his wife really worked their butts off to afford the cost of living where they live. I forget exactly where he lives, if it's Sydney or somewhere else, but
he's in Melbourne.
Melbourne, there you go. So he talks a lot about that too. He's like, it's just crazy with the cost of living. And
I've seen him at the casino because he used to work there. Because he was working 2 jobs. He was working a day job and then the casino at nights.
Are you actually serious?
Yeah.
You've met Tom?
Yeah, I've seen him before. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh.
only live from where he is. I'm only about an hour or so away.
The world shrinks every day. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He's got a code on
he
Clash,
worked
right?
at the casino that we go up to sometimes and have a bit of fun at. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, he's got a Clash of Clans code, right?
Yes.
Use code Tom Nub.
I do know that.
Use code Tom Nub. TOMNUB. I use him, or I use Doluk, who creates the bot that I can use for Clash of Clans competitive stream statistics. So to show who hit, what percentage they got, how many stars they got, what's the total percentage, that people can just see it on the overlay instead of trying to figure out the math with the war screen. So
that's a good idea.
Super cool dude. But yeah, now that Tom's got his code, we're going to I'll be prioritizing supporting him too, so that, well, I mean, he's just somebody who comes by the stream all the time. He's super cool. He does.
Dude. Yeah, I've seen him here a lot, especially lately. Mm-hmm. I've seen him popping in. I mean, he doesn't hardly stream at all now, but obviously his YouTube videos are what what does it for him?
He does YouTube and TikTok, and he gets hundreds of thousands of views sometimes, especially on his TikToks. I haven't checked him out on YouTube too much. I've seen him a lot more on TikTok for some
Okay.
reason in my feed, but he's crushing it. If you look at some of his TikToks, there's a ton of views and a ton of likes and comments on his videos. He's doing great, and he's getting people
Okay.
to edit his videos for him. He's really going for the bigger content creation, long form stuff versus sitting down and streaming. And I'm the exact opposite. I could do this all day. I could chat all day with people. I could keep you up all night,
Yeah.
GT, talking
You
about
could.
anything.
I believe you.
Anything off the cuff. I love it. But editing, I'm not good. I like doing it. I'm just not good at it.
Yeah, well, he mustn't want to work at the casino anymore, so that's why he's doing all this shit. He's
Yes.
had enough.
It's just so much better to be able to do it from home, to be at home, to be available for your kids. Because what I would like to see happen in the next couple of years is Iron Boy's doing his homework in the room adjacent to me. And if he has any questions about anything, he comes in and asks me. But I'm here, quote unquote, working, doing the stream, doing podcast, doing anything like that here in the studio in this office here. What should I call this? Should I call this a studio or an office? What's the best? What's the just
No,
sidebar?
studio.
Call it a studio now. I feel like we kind of have to,
I think
right?
so.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a
got the
studio
mic.
setup.
Yeah, got the lights, got the cameras. Call it a studio with some interesting
If you had
decorations.
books in the background, I'd call it an office.
Ah, there you go. There you go. But since we got stream gaming decorations, we got to call it a studio. I'm down for that. So here in the studio, imagine I'm here in the studio and he's either on the desk next to me, or if he's in another room and he comes to ask me questions, and then whenever he's done with schoolwork, he hops online with me. I think that would be really, really, really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, it'd be great. I mean, I'd love to. I'd hope to retire in about 10 years. It'd be nice to be able to take up this as just a hobby, and if it took off, it took off. If not, it doesn't matter. But to be at that point in life where you didn't have to rely on having to go to work, and this and then you could stream, and if it possibly worked, happy days. If it gave you a little bit of pocket money or extra,
Yep.
and you enjoyed it, happy days.
Exactly. And I think the biggest step towards that being a bigger reality is paying down the loans, because we pay about $3,000 a month between the mortgage and our student loans. Once we
Yep.
get one of those down, then I can kind of reduce hours at the hospital and keep hitting at the same rate, and then increase stream time, and then hopefully that snowballs into more. Like you said, I mean, it's ultimately needs to be financially feasible to do it. If I'm reducing the hours at work, so let's see how it goes. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, look, I hope it works out for you, because no one wants to waste their life working. It's just unfortunate you have to get by and to be successful in life, to have something.
There you go. But I think you and I are doing really good on setting up our kids so that they don't have to do the same thing, and they may choose to do it, and that's all up to them. You can have everything lined up for them to give them all the success possible, and some people just like the grind, and some people just like to.
Yeah. If you can give them a house and it's a start, like by the time I think they're ready for one, like my kids anyway, it's only a few years away, but when they are ready, I think it'll be hard enough as it is by then. And if that gives them a kickstart to then go to work, and they want to grind work, but the last thing they need to think about is a home.
Yep.
Then that's great.
Yeah, if all that they have to pay for is maintenance and property taxes and whatever else is required,
Yep.
but they don't have to deal with the multiple thousands of dollars every so often pulling out of their bank account. I think that just makes a huge. The calculus for it is just completely different, and it just gives them
You just
more
get paid
opportunities.
afford.
Yep, exactly.
They do it for their kids.
There's a phrase for that, right? Is that generational wealth, right? So somebody takes on the load and they pass it on to their kids, and as long as they don't screw it up, there's people.
Well,
who...
it has to.
Go ahead.
It has to start somewhere.
Of course.
It has to start somewhere. I mean, it hasn't started my parents were never in a position to have left me anything, and that's, which is fine, but that's what motivated me to be the opposite.
I think that's the way you got to be. If you always want to have your kids set up in a better position than you were set up. My parents they were in a great position to set me up, and they did. I got my doctorate, and
Yep.
I got all those things that I did, and I'm very grateful.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And they're doing their best to do more and more and more for me all the time. And now you're being like them, like how they were for me, for your kids. And
Yeah.
I think that's mega commendable, because some people, like I mentioned before, they could take that victim mentality, like, oh, my parents didn't do anything for me, therefore I don't have to, take on the weight.
And that's the thing.
Push
A
it
lot
on.
of people are like that. A lot of people are like that. But your parents, just because they can't leave you anything, they love seeing that you've got something, that they couldn't give you or they never had.
Yep.
So it works both ways. It's good for them. It's good for your kids.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's the most selfish thing for me sometimes when I see him happy about something he gets. Like, it makes me feel so good too. Of course, you see your kids smile, that's all you care about. They get that.
It's a dopamine hit, isn't it?
They get that gut laughter, that big smile on their face. He just starts shaking with excitement. I'm just like, that's why you do it. That's why you do it. That's what it is.
You do. And on the side note, Dippy's trolling for
Yes,
sure.
he is. Yes, he is. I saw that too. I'm like, yeah, well, yeah, right. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. I've been having a blast so far. How much more time do you have in you to chat?
Oh, look, I'm easy. I don't know how long. I mean, this is all new. How long does the podcast go for? Do you do an hour?
It is. I was thinking an hour, I think, would be a really good way to do the first podcast. It's a nice round number. It's a good number to aim for. I have no doubt that some of them will go longer, but I think at the very least I should aim for an hour, then think about maybe capping myself, or else we'll turn it to a Joe Rogan podcast where we go for like 2 or 3 hours. So here's what I was thinking. I was thinking we could go over to Patreon, chat there for a little bit. There are a couple of I don't know if I want to call them segments just yet, but there's a couple of things that I want to go over specifically over on Patreon for the paid supporters as well. So everything up to this point is for free for anybody who wants to watch it. It'll be on YouTube. There'll be clips on TikTok, and we're streaming live to Twitch as well. I'll be editing these into shorts as well. So whatever comes out of those edits will be posted to YouTube and TikTok as shorter form videos as well. But once I go over to Patreon, then that's the paid section. So for anybody who's watching and wants to support on Patreon, it's patreon.com/Mr. Iron Knight. Most of my socials have the underscores. So when it comes to Twitch, when it comes to X, when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to TikTok, it's Mr._Iron_Knight. However, on Discord, I'm just Mr. Iron Knight, and on Patreon, I'm just Mr. Iron Knight. No underscores. MRIRONKNIGHT. So if you guys want to support me, you guys can check out those socials. You guys can subscribe to the Patreon. Again, at patreon.com/Mr. Iron Knight. It'll be in the description of the YouTube video. I'm not sure about how best to put it in TikTok. I'll figure that out later. Maybe I'll put a link in my profile. There we go. Link in my profile for TikTok, and maybe we'll do the same thing for Twitch. And then I do have a couple of codes if you guys are interested as well. W.GG, awesome gamer fuel and hydration brand. W.GG, use code Mr. Iron at checkout for a discount. I do get a small cut. And if you guys play Rocket League, or if you guys play Fortnite, you guys can use my epic code Mr. Iron. So there we go. So with that, we'll pan over to Patreon for the paid supporters section of the show. And I appreciate y'all tuning in. GT, anything you want to say to the folks before we go off of the free stuff?
No, I'd just like to say thanks for having me on and just being able to have a chat, and thanks for anyone who come past to view it, because it's been fantastic. It's just casual talk that we might do on the side is now just out there live. I think it's great.
Exactly. I think taking the time to really sit down and chat, where we like to do that on stream, but we talk a lot about games as well. It's nice to have this part of it be a focus as well. So comment below if you guys have any questions or any topics you'd like for us to go over, and I'll do my best to respond to all of them. Until next time, say peace.